What's going on, everybody? Spunky 991 coming guys in a video. Come at you guys with my Eagles Vikings week 2 preview. Very short week. The Eagles, of course, coming off of a victory in week 1 against the New England Patriots on Sunday. The game was sloppy to say the least. Definitely sloppy to say the least. A lot the Eagles got to work on, and they had such a short time span to do it because turn around Thursday night football, they played the Minnesota Vikings, and this is the second straight year that we played the Vikings, and second straight year in week 2 and on prime time. Last year was on Monday Night Football. This year is on Thursday Night Football, so not a lot of time to prepare. The Eagles have gotten some bad news in terms of certain players. Just rough, man. Hearing that guys like Reed Blankenship, Fletcher Cox, James Bradbury, Kobe Dean is going to be out for a couple weeks. Just some tough news to hear there. However, that's why we have backups. That's why we have depth. So next man has to step up. Coming to this game, Eagles taking on the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings lost their season opener week 1 game. They played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They ended up losing that game by a score of 20-17. So the Vikings are coming to this game trying to get their first win of the season. The Eagles, of course, are trying to get their improve to 2-0. Now, like I said about that game in my post-game video about that Patriots game, I expect the Eagles to rebound. Those starters had not played together since the Super Bowl. Nick Sirianni hadn't, decided not to play the starters at all during the preseason. But knowing this team, knowing their resilience, knowing this team in general, I feel that even with the injuries that we have right now, I feel like this team is gonna come out strong against the Minnesota Vikings, and they're gonna get the win in this game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any stretch of the imagination. Kirk Cousins, however, does struggle in primetime football. He struggled against us in primetime football last year, last year's matchup. So obviously, I would love for that same Kirk Cousins to show up. However, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I got the Eagles win this game, but I got the Eagles win this game by a score of 28-21. I think it's going to be a touchdown win. No, it's going to be one-score win. Yeah, so coming to this game, the keys to victory are always the same keys to victory. It starts with the big men up front, the trenches, offensive line, defensive line. Those guys have to show up, and they have to be ready to play. We have got to make sure that we are opening up the running lanes. The running game was non-existent in week 1. We were very pass happy when the running game was not working for us. DeAndre Swift only had 1 carry. He only had 1 carry that entire game. That's not enough. I don't like how pass happy we became, and I feel like we gave up on the running game way too soon. But I expect this week to be, I expect this week for us to use our running backs a lot more. So, yeah, I definitely expect a more running. But it starts with the big man up front, offensive line. Gotta open up those running lanes for DeAndre Swift. Kenny Gainwell will not be in this game. Kenny Gainwell is also one of those players that is on the not IR, but he's on the injury report. He will not be playing in this game. Sucks, but yeah, he will not be playing this game. So that means Rashard Penny, who we should be seeing make his season debut, he did not play at all against the Patriots, which I don't understand that either. But yeah, DeAndre Swift, Rashard Penny, Boston Scott. Those guys, got to open up the running lanes for those guys. Offensive line got to protect Jalen Hurts a little bit better than what they did the first game last Sunday. Got to protect Jalen Hurts, get him time to scan down that field. If we can wear down this Vikings front 7 early with the running game, that will open up the passing game. I like our chances against this Vikings front seven. Get that running game going early. Wear down that D-line. That will open up things in the passing game to our tight end, Dallas Goedert. Calcaterra as well. Jack Stowe, get those guys. It would open up the play action because the defense has to respect the running game. So it would open up the passing game. Give Jalen Hurts the time to scan down that field. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith both had 7 catches last week. We definitely need those guys to come ready to play in this game, which I don't see any reason why they won't. Those guys will be ready. Quez Watkins as well. Quez Watkins had a couple decent catches. He had a couple good catches for us in that Patriots game. But yeah, it starts with the big men up front, the trenches, offensive line, open up the running game. That will open up things in the passing game, getting the tight ends involved, and then of course getting the wide receivers involved. Defensively, like I mentioned earlier, we got quite a bit of pieces that's going to be missing on the defense. Reed Blankenship, that's a big one. Nakobe Dean got hurt in that Patriots game. He's going to be out for at least 4 weeks. James Bradbury is a huge one, but next man has to step up. It's as simple as that. In this game, in the NFL, injuries happen. Injuries are a part of the game. So who's gonna step up and make in those roles? I expect guys like Avonte Maddox to step in. I feel like we're gonna be fine we're gonna be fine for the time being with James Bradbury out. Darius Slay on the other side, of course. Darius Slay, I expect him to be the guy covering Justin Jefferson the most. Justin Jefferson is the Vikings' biggest weapon. He is Kirk Cousins' go-to guy. Last year against the Eagles, with Darius Slay mostly on him, held him in check. So we're gonna have to do the same thing this game. Cannot let Justin Jefferson get comfortable. Cannot let Kirk Cousins get comfortable throwing it to him. We got to make sure that we take Justin Jefferson away, because Justin Jefferson is the Vikings' biggest weapon. He is by far their biggest weapon. And if you allow him to get comfortable and open very often, then that's the problem for you that you're gonna be dealing with for the entire game. So first thing first, though, get that take away the running game of the Minnesota Vikings. Force Kirk Cousins to have to beat you with his arm. Kirk Cousins under pressure is one of those guys that can be very prone to making mistakes. So we got to make sure that we take away the running game. We get the pressure on Kirk Cousins. Last Sunday against the Patriots, we didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Mac Jones early in that game. The pressure really came later on in that game when we needed the most. This game, we need consistent pressure, getting to Kirk Cousins, making Kirk Cousins very uncomfortable in that pocket. If we can get him in that position, then I like our chances in this game. So, like I said, it starts with the trenches, man. Defensive line, got to make sure we take away that running game. Big Jordan Davis, was just absolute. He was amazing last week. Jalen Carter was great as well. The big men on that D line. Take away that running game. Get the pressure on Kirk Cousins. If we do that, then I feel pretty good about our chances this game. Special teams was great last week. Other than a missed kick, Jake Elliott was amazing. If it wasn't for those field goals, if it wasn't for those field goals in that game, we wouldn't have won that game. Jake Elliott was just amazing. He was by far, in my opinion, the player of the game. So offense, special teams, offense, defense, special teams, all 3 sides of the ball. Everybody has to do their job. If everybody shows up and do their job, I am confident we're going to win this game. I don't expect it to be a blowout. Like I said, I think the Eagles are going to win, but I got the Eagles winning by a score of 28-21. I think it's going to be a one score win. But there you have it. There's my preview for this game. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. As always, go Birds. Spunky Nights on one is out of here. Fly go fly. Peace.
That's all, folks.